Most COVID patients fully recover, but not all. Experts believe at least 10% of patients become COVID long haulers who suffer severe symptoms indefinitely after diagnosis. Heidi Ferrer, a well-known Hollywood screenwriter, was one of them. After fighting the virus for more than a year and experiencing endless setbacks, she died by suicide at the end of May.
The equivalent of diabetic nerve pain, although she wasn't a diabetic, which made her bedridden by last June. And it followed incredibly difficult digestive issues for months, overall body aches, racing heart rate. When she would just get out of bed to walk, her heart would go from 80 to 130 beats in 15 seconds. And then neurological tremors that started in the last month that were very scary and also completely disrupted her sleep. She had like an internal vibration in her body that she could feel, but nobody else could see, but kept her from sleeping. So for the last month, she barely slept more than an hour at a time.
It sounds horrible. I mean, it sounds like a living hell, obviously. And this went on for more than a year for her?
It started 13 months ago, yeah.
Were doctors ever able to determine or give you guys any explanation for why she had such a debilitating case?
No, I mean, you know, in the beginning, the tests were so inaccurate, the early tests were so inaccurate that, you know, nobody would even say she had it. You know, they came up with a bunch of other reasons and none of them seemed accurate. And she did get some more advanced tests later on that actually led her to be referred to the long-haul COVID clinic at Cedars-Sinai, and the letter for a referral ironically arrived the day before she took her life. That's how hard it is to get people to pay attention to people with long-haul COVID if they didn't get a positive test in the first, 8 weeks.
This disease, this illness is so cruel, it is so unpredictable, and I know that Heidi talked about that in her blog, and there were times during the past year, even this year, that she believed that she had turned a corner. And so one of her blog posts, January 25th, she said, "I have positive news. I'm cautiously optimistic that I'm still improving slowly but surely every month. I have had over 40 scary and even crippling long COVID symptoms in July. Now I'm down to a few frustrating ones, but so much better." And then what happened?
She was improving. She decided to get the Moderna vaccine March 8th, which a lot of long haulers felt could improve their symptoms. In her case, it had just the opposite effect. And I want to make clear, I'm 100% pro-vaccine. I'm vaccinated, my son is vaccinated. But in her case, it set her back to where she was last July, and also led to the neurological tremors that were very scary, almost like Parkinsonian tremors that kept her up late at night and made sleeping impossible. And it was that last month, she had a brain fog that really came on very hard at the end and made even reading a book almost impossible to retain information. She loved to read. Had 500 books on her Kindle, and I think that almost was the final straw for her when she couldn't even enjoy a book.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you've talked about that when it deprives you of every single, not only life pleasure, but just life activity between eating, sleeping, reading, functioning. It just gets to be too much. And did she talk to you about what her plan was when things were at their darkest?
No, I mean, she had indicated that if things got really bad, she didn't know how she could continue. She didn't know how she could keep going. And I just kept saying, just hang on, hang on. Medical science is moving at the quickest rate it ever has. We got a vaccine in a year. But I think she just felt, that she was only going to diminish. She was going to lose the ability to walk, end up in a wheelchair, not be able to bathe herself. And based on the video she left for us, she indicated she wanted to go out while she still had some, dignity, I guess. It's the best way I can explain it. I did ask her to hang on.